beautiful skyline shot here at 612 on the East Coast. And right there in New York, I want to show you this shot that we have of Ground Zero. This Wednesday morning, September 11th, we remember the lives taken and those reshaped by 9/11. For many, today is also concerning as conflict in the Middle East looms, along with the Russia-Ukraine war. It raises the question of national security and terrorism on this 9/11. Joining us live this morning to further discuss this news alert is distinguished lecturer of Homeland Security and Terrorism at the University of New Haven, Ken Gray. Ken, good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us on this 9/11.
Good morning, Janae. Glad to be with you again.
So, Ken, we know a lot is going on this 9/11. We have the Israel-Hamas war. We also have the Russia-Ukraine war. And if we look back in time, concerns of terrorism and national security led us to that tragic day. We fast forward years later, those same concerns still looming. Could you provide that perspective, please?
Certainly. So 9/11, the United States became totally engaged in a global war on terror, the GWAT. We found ourselves taking the fight to al-Qaeda, taking the fight to Taliban there in Afghanistan so as to not have to fight them here in the United States. This is 23 years on, and now the United States, we've left Afghanistan, and Afghanistan trying to pivot to the global powers conflicts that are going on in the world. But in the process of doing so, the terrorist threat has not forgotten about us. We still face a threat of terrorism. Afghanistan has become an area for training camps once again for al-Qaeda and other terrorist groups. Al-Qaeda has become very diverse. It has a number of affiliates that are a real threat, and they are located not just in Afghanistan, but all across Africa and across the Middle East. We see Israel suffering their own type of 9/11 with the October 7th attack by Hamas, a terrorist group. They, like us, lost a large number of people. We lost 2,996 people died on the 9/11 attacks. There in Israel, they lost 1,200 people there in Israel and had the hostages taken back into the Gaza Strip. Still over 90 of them unaccounted for. So terrorism is still a threat. Just earlier in the week, a person by the name of Mohammed Khan was arrested by the RCMP in Canada, who was planning to travel to Brooklyn and shoot up a Jewish community center. And so terrorism is still a threat. Even though we don't want to acknowledge that, we want to turn towards China, we want to turn towards Russia and deal with great power threats. But terrorism is still the threat that it was with 9/11.
Ken, great point you're making this morning. With that terrorism threat still a concern this 9/11, what needs to happen? Do we need stricter laws? Do we need more people added to that terrorism watch list? Do we need those calls, those anonymous calls to tip lines being taken more seriously? What needs to happen so that tragedy doesn't repeat itself right here in America?
Well, not to get into politics, but the number one thing we need to do is to secure the border, because people are crossing that border that we have no idea who they are. And they some have been identified as members of terrorist groups. And so how many have gotten across into the United States that are here to do bad things for terror groups? We don't know. So the number one thing that we need to do is to be able to actually have the Department of Homeland Security do their job of securing the border instead of facilitating people coming into our country and then going to who knows where in this country, potentially to do attacks against the United States.
Ken Gray, I always appreciate your candidness and your expertise on these topics. On this 9/11, many people say, where were you when this tragedy happened? I remember I was in elementary school and the teacher rolled in a TV and just the horror I saw at that young age, not really understanding, and then going home and my parents putting it into perspective. I would love to hear your story, that tragic day. Where were you? How did you explain that to your family and your children?
So I was a special agent with the FBI, a New Haven division. I had just turned over the terrorism squad to Craig Olson, a supervisor had come in from headquarters. And I was talking to him in his office about the cases we had going on there in New Haven division when he got a call from his wife telling him to put the TV on that a plane had gone into the World Trade Center. We went down to the conference room, put on the large screen TV we had at the time, in time to watch the second plane go in, and we knew then and there that we were under attack. We did not know what was going to happen next, but I stood up a command post there in our office, and we started having volunteers from a number of different federal agencies and local police contact us saying, what can we do to help? And so we got engaged in the global war on terrorism even before 9/11, but we were, all the FBI was working terrorism on 9/11.
Ken Gray, thank you so much for sharing that personal story. Just truly shows your bravery and your willingness to act. And I think this 9/11, so many viewers, that's what they're wanting from the government, from our officials, to act and to not be scared when it comes to standing up to threats that could potentially kill us, as we saw on that tragic day. Thank you so much for joining us. Anything else you'd like to add before we let you go?
Again, terrorism is still a threat. The ISIS-K is perhaps the biggest threat right now, and they have attacked targets in Turkey and Russia and Iran. ISIS-K could very easily be sending people here in the United States, so we need to remain ever vigilant against potential threats.
Great points you're making. Ken Gray, thank you so much again for joining us this Wednesday morning. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.